Hello viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This is MD Saiful Islam and assistant teacher of Kodu Adult High School Ranginagar Nogan, and you are most welcome in my Saiful English Academy. Dear learners, those students who are very weak in English, who think English as a subject still today, who can't convert narration from dialect to indirect, who can convert a voice from active to passive. There are some students who don't know how to form a text question, how to select various kinds of sentence, various kinds of parts of it, various kinds of syllable, various kinds of phrase, various kinds of grammatical system. And in our country, there are many students who are very poor and can't learn English in a renowned coaching center for their financial problem. My dear learners, only for those students, I want to dedicate my video classes so that they can remove their all kinds of weakness about English and can be fit for the future generation. Okay, my dear learners, I hope that you have understood clearly. With this view, various kinds of classes already have been uploaded in my YouTube channels. With the reference of my previous classes, to this class, I have been present in front of you with a new regiment, a new class, one kinds of brands of voice changing rules, named voice of a simple sentence, voice of a simple sentence. So, my viewers, now take a look at the board and try to understand. Let's get started to this class. Okay, my dear learners. But before starting to this class, I want to ask some question to you, my dear learners. At first, you'll have to say what's the definition of a simple sentence. Of a simple sentence. So, my dear learners, take a look at the board and try to understand. We can remember in this way, or we can write about the definition of a simple sentence. That, my dear learners, simple sentence is the sentence which contain a principal clause, but it may have any kinds of phrase. Phrase. Okay, my dear learners, how about that? You have understood clearly. Now, what's the definition of a simple sentence? We can remember, or we can say that what the definition of a simple sentence. Simple sentence is the sentence which contains a principal clause, but it may have any kinds of phrase, any kinds of phrase. Okay, my dear learners, hope that you have understood clearly. But I want to ask you another question, and my another question is to you that, my dear learners, what's the principal clause? What's a principal clause? What's a principal clause? Hope that you'll be able to reply my question, but I want to add something here, my dear learners. So take a look at the board and try to note instantly what's the definition of a principal clause. We can say, or we can write in this way: a principal clause is the clause which contains a subject and a finite verb. Okay, My dear learners, hope that you have understood clearly what the definition of a principal clause. Of course, various kinds of discussion matter was various kinds of clause, the definition of principal clause, definition of subordinate clause, definition of a coordinate clause, definition of simple sentence, and various kinds of sentence already have been described in my previous classes. Okay, my dear learners, now we can say take a look at the board and try to understand so what's a principal clause. We can say that, my dear learners, a principal clause is a clause which contains a subject and a finite verb. Okay, my dear learners, hope that you have understood clearly. Now, the next question is what's a finite verb? What a finite verb? I know that, my dear learners, you'll be able to reply my questions. What's the definition of a finite verb? Mind it, my dear learners, there are three forms of verb. Like V1, V2, and V3. Mind that, my dear learners, all categories of verb V1 and all categories of verb V2, of course, a finite verb. Of course, a finite verb. Mind that, my dear learners, of that you have understood clearly. Now, my next question to you, my dear learners, what's a phrase? What's a phrase? I know that, my dear learners, you'll be able to reply the questions, but I want to add something here about the definition of a phrase. We can say in this way that, my dear learners, a phrase is a group of words. A phrase is a group of words which doesn't have any subject and finite verbs. Okay, my dear learners, of that you have understood clearly. Okay, my dear learners, we can say or we can remember about the definition of a phrase in this way, my dear learners. A phrase is a group of words. A phrase is a group of words which doesn't have any subject and finite verb. Finite verb. Okay, my dear learners. Now my next question to you: how many ways can we select a simple sentence? I know that, my dear learners, you'll be able to reply my question, but I want to add something here, my dear learners. So let's go to select various kinds of selection of a simple sentence. Of course, you know that, my dear learners, in many ways we can select a simple sentence, but here in this case, especially converting voice from active to passive, we can select a simple sentence at least 8 ways. So, my dear learners, try to note instantly. Selection way of a simple sentence. Okay, my dear learners, what the thing about, my dear learners, voyage of a simple sentence. But before starting to convert voice of a simple sentence, we'll have to select any category of simple sentence. Number one, starting word by plus gerund. Number two, without plus gerund. Number three, starting word present participle. Participle. Present participle. Starting word being. Starting word because of. Starting word in spite of. Okay, my dear learners, mind it, my try to note and try to set in a way. Number one, starting word by plus zero, and finally ended with the notes of full stop. Number two, starting word with the plus zero, and finally ended with the notes of full stop. Number three, starting word present participle, and finally ended with the notes of full stop. And number four, starting word being finally ended with the notes of full stop, starting word because of, and finally ended with the notes of full stop, starting word in spite of, finally ended with the notes of full stop. Okay, my dear learners, next, any kinds of statement mixed with infinitive, infinitive, and finally ended with the notes of full stop. Next, study any kinds of statement mixed with in order to, in order to, and finally ended with the notes of full stop. And next, any kinds of statement mixed with two dollar, two oblique, two dollar, four, and finally ended with the notes of full stop. Okay, my dear learners, so my dear learners, try to save in your memory and try to memorize instantly for the determinant of contracting voice from active to passive at this moment. Number one, by Fajran, finally ended with the notes of full stop. Number two, starting word without Fajran, and finally ended with the notes of full stop. Number three, starting word present participle and finally ended with the notes of full stop. Next, number four, starting word being and finally ended with the notes of full stop. Number five, starting word because of, finally ended with the notes of full stop. Next, number six, starting word in spite of, finally ended with the notes of full stop. Number seven, any category of sentence mixed with infinitive, and finally ended with the notes of full stop. Any kinds of sentence mixed with in order to, and finally ended with the notes of full stop. Number nine, any kinds of statement or sentence mixed with the two oblique or slash to the for, and finally ended with the notes of full stop. Hope that you have understood clearly. My dear learners, try to remember what's the topics of today's class. What's the topics of today class? Today class. Of course, you know that, my dear learners, the main topics of today's class is why is of a simple sentence. Why is of a simple sentence? So, my dear learners, now I am going to write the structure of sentence point. So, my dear learners, try to note instantly the structure. Structure. You will have to change with only the given principal clause. Okay, my dear learners, hope that you have understood clearly, my dear learners. Mind that, my dear learners, at the time of making you understand what the definition of a simple sentence, you are told that, my dear learners, a simple sentence is a sentence which contains principal clause. Sometimes it may have any phrase or not, and phrase or not. So, my dear learners, let's go to give some example to clarify. To clarify, number one, reading English, running will make a good rated. Okay, my dear friends, hope that you have understood clearly. Now, at first, before converting this sentence from active to passive, we'll have to be sure what category of sentence. My dear learners, take a look at the board and try to understand. I can see that, my dear learners, given statement has two portions. One portion, reading English, and another portion, running will make a good result. Good result. Can you gauge, my dear learners, what category of clause is the statement Rani will make a good result, but I want to suggest you that, my dear learners, this version is your principal clause. Why, my dear learners? Because at the time of making understand about the definition of a principal clause, we told that, my dear learners, a principal clause is a clause which contains at least a subject and a final verb. Okay, my dear learners, in this sense, we can call this a principal sentence, and first person is a phrase. Is a phrase because at the time of making understand about the definition of phrase, they told that, my dear learners, phrase is a group of words which doesn't contain a subject and a final verb. In the sense, this version is a phrase. So, my dear learners, now we are sure this statement is a simple sentence. This statement is a simple sentence. So, my dear learners, try to confirm this statement. At first, we'll write the phrase. Your phrase, reading English. Then future clause will have to convert voice into principal clause. So, my dear learners, try to convert the voice from active to passive. This portion is an assertive sentence because this sentence is started with the subject and finally ended the not full stop. Okay, my dear learners. So, my dear learners, in this sense, we should apply the rules of voice of an assertive sentence. Now, my dear learners, can you gauge what the structure of converting voice of an assertive sentence? I know that, my dear learners, you'll be able to recall the structures because you are taught various kinds of structure of converting voice from active to passive in my previous classes. So, my dear learners, try to apply these structures. At first, we'll have to use subjective form of object. Here, object are good result. Then to be verb, yet to be verb, will. And it's a notable thing that, my dear learners, of course, you know that from my previous classes, if any sentence possessed any kinds of modal auxiliary, we'll have to use be after such kinds of modal auxiliary. Then with the form of verb, made, then preposition by, then objective form of subject. Okay, my dear learners, hope that you have understood clearly. Okay, my dear learners, next example. We eat rice to live oil. Okay, my dear learners, try to separate principal clause and phrase. This sentence has two versions. One principal clause, here principal clause with right and to live oil is a phrase. Is a phrase. So, my dear learners, according to the structure pattern, the voice and the roles of a simple sentence will have to use or will have to convert the voice only principal clause. Only principal clause. So, my dear learners, try to apply the structure pattern. At first, we'll have to use subjective form of object. Here, object right. Then we'll have to use to be verb. This principal clause is a present indefinite tense, and according to the rules of changing voice of present indefinite tense, you have to mind that, my dear learners, three categories of to be verb work at the thread of converting voice from active to passive and is also. But in this case, subject right, you have to use it. Then variety form of verb. That means third form of verb. Eat at eaten. Eat at eaten. Next preposition by. Then objective form of subject. Now we'll have to use the given phrase. Here given phrase to live oil. Okay, my dear learners, I can write the another example. Another example. Because of reading more, running made a good result. Okay, my dear learners, this sentence, of course, you know that, my dear learners, this sentence has two versions. One version, because of reading more. This version is called a phrase. This version is called a phrase. And another version, Rani made a good result. Rani made a good result. This version is called a principal clause. Of course, you know that, my dear learners. Now we'll have to solve yourselves. So, Try to note the given phrase. Given phrase is here because of reading more. Then we'll have to convert voice of principal clause. Okay, my dear learners. Here at first we'll have to use subjective form of object. Here object good result. Okay, then according to tense and person, we'll have to use verb. Here, in this case, we'll have to use to be verb was verb because at the time of converting any voice from active to passive or first continuous and indefinite tense, we'll have to use was verb required. But in this sense, a good result will have to use was. Then third form of a verb, third form of verb, then preposition by, then objective form of subject, objective form of subject. Okay, my dear learners, hope that you have understood clearly. My dear learners, today's class, let's go to revise. In today's class, my dear learners, I am trying to make you understand some various kinds of rules of changing voice, especially the voice of a simple sentence. At first, I am trying to teach you definition of a simple sentence. Next, definition of a principal clause. Next, definition of a phrase. Then, selection of a simple sentence structure of a simple sentence of converting voice from active to passive. Okay, my dear learners, hope that you have understood clearly. So, my dear learners, today's class, I don't want to learn them. But before finishing this 2 days class, I want to share something with you, my dear learners. Of course, you know that, my dear learners, I am a new teacher or new teacher in YouTube channels, and I'm trying to make various kinds of video classes in English version. So, my dear viewers, of course, you know that, my dear learners, to error is human, and I am not out of this concept, my dear learners. So, my dear learners, at first I want to apologize to you, my dear learners, if you notice any faults or mistakes in the middle of my video class, and the attitude of my speaking use various kinds of English version, please excuse me, my dear learners, and pray to Almighty Allah so that I can serve you in this way throughout my video classes throughout my life. So, my dear viewers, no more today come to say again with our new arrangement, our new class only for you. So, my dear, it's a fair for Almighty Allah for me. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.